Okay, this is for Sarah Jung, who is working on her master's degree in Asian Studies at George Washington University in Washington, D.C. Sarah, you wrote an article about the Korean War and why it should not be called the Forgotten War. Please talk to us about that.
Thank you, Colonel Lee. So, for me, I don't think the Korean War should be called the Forgotten War because, first, it's a disservice to those who served in the
Mm,
war, and it's not just the US and Korea forces. 15 UN member states sent troops to South Korea, so calling the Korean War the Forgotten War is actually a huge disservice to Canada, Ethiopia, and many, many other countries who not only sent troops but also medical supplies right after World War II. So it's a huge sacrifice that they made. I also wanted to educate people on the Korean War, which is why I joined KDVA as an intern. And second, the Korean War is still ongoing since there is no peace treaty, but people often forget that. And lastly, the objective of the ROC US alliance has not changed, which is to protect South Korea from North Korean threats. The threat of North Korean attack is always there, decades after the Korean War. So, for example, North Korea torpedoed the rock ship Cheonan and also attacked Yeonpyeong Island in 2010. And South Korea is also an important ally of the United States and the only ally with the Mutual Defense Treaty. So these attacks are directly related to US foreign policy. These are certainly reasons why the Korean War should not be called the Forgotten War. And unfortunately, many veterans are now in their 90s, which
mm,
means that there will be less people who actually remember the Korean War. So I think this is the important time to make constant efforts to prevent the Korean War from actually being forgotten. Back to you,
mm.
Colonel Lee.